Hi there everyone, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to do a bit of an update on what's going on with my writing and everything. The short answer is there has not been a lot of it. Okay, so too long didn't read. January was not an easy month for me. After the fuckery that was November and December when it came to my writing. Yeah, January was about trying to get back into the groove of it, and I sort of did that. Unfortunately, a lot of things were going on during January that just kind of put a lot of kinks into it. Had a lot of things going on with my family. I had my car suddenly shut down on me in the middle of driving it. Yeah, that was not fun. Then we had to do a whole bunch of reorganizing with our stuff, and yeah, it's just been a lot that we've been dealing with. And I decided that about a week ago, when there was only 1 week left of January, I decided that it's like, you know what? I have all these organization projects that I've been putting off because I've been trying to focus on my writing so much. And I decided, since January was basically kicking me in the ass, I'm like, I'm just gonna take this week, finish up some projects, and do what kind of needs to be done so that I can free my mind and actually be able to work. So I did. I reorganized our video games, TV shows. I reorganized my books. I redid our linen cupboard, which carries all of our bulk items, and I also did the pantry. My mother also helped out and did the filing and cleared out the laundry room. And that all basically happened in the span of 4 days. Ooh, there was a lot going on. But I got all those done, and dealing with all that. And it's just been nice to get that kind of stuff done because it was stuff that was kind of weighing on my mind. But now we're actually in a much better position than we were about a week ago, especially with the whole car situation. But anyway, with my writing, I don't remember what I said last in my last update, but basically the statuses of my books right now is I am about 9,000 plus almost to 10,000 words into Stand Up Obtain Control's rewrite. If you have no idea the struggle that I went through with that one, there's several updates that you need to catch up on because, ooh. But I did get some more inspiration for it, so I think I'm feeling a little bit better about it now that a lot of my projects are on the back burner now. But the one that was giving me the most trouble is my Hunter X Slayer series, my Vampire and Werewolf series. I didn't like how it was going. I was having trouble really enjoying it. I literally tried to bang out 3 chapters in over a weekend, and I got them done, but only one of them did I actually enjoy. And that's not good. When you can only enjoy one of 3 chapters that you write in a particular span of time, that's a bad sign. And I had the same problem when I was writing the first Hunter X Slayer series with the Hunter and the Cultist. And what happened was, with that one, I hadn't really kind of thought out the character Abel, who is the other half of the romance equation. I had Gustav down. Gustav I knew forwards, backwards, sideways. Abel, on the other hand, not only had he been changed dramatically, but I didn't understand his character at the time. And I finally had to do some extra work on it to fix it so that I actually knew what I was writing. Now, I'm not having that particular problem in this one. What I'm having a problem with is the flow of the narrative, because with The Spy and the Slayer, this one is, it's harder because the original story that I had for these two does not fit with the world that I have now. So I had to completely create a brand new story for them. And the story that I have for them is really good, but there's a lot of moving parts to it that I have to kind of tinker around with, and that's ultimately what was tripping me up. That and the character Bastian was kind of bipolar in how his responses were. Now, there is supposed to be some issues with his regulation of his emotions, but it was very hard for me to like what was going on. So I gotta, as much as I hate to do this, I'm going to scrap this draft. I'm basically calling it like a half-zero draft. And then doing another first draft of it when I've gotten myself into a better headspace. I think I might hold off on doing that until maybe later on in February. I'm not sure. I have to see how the next coming days go with Stand Up Obtain Control, because that one is my main focus. I have to finish it. I have to continue it. And basically the way I've laid out my months is that minimum I have to hit at least 20,000 per month. Because I did not hit that during January, I have to make that up. So I'm about 10,000 plus words behind for the minimum. So basically, in the month of February, I want to be able to hit 25,000 words written during February, which would put me at a little over 30,000 words, I think. Math is not my best subject. But if I can get to that point, I basically figured it out. I mean, I can normally write, if I'm at least in a good headspace, I can write about 2,000 words a day. And since I work on this one Monday through Thursday, that's 4 days out of the week, that's 8,000 words, I think. Yes, 8,000 words every week. And there's 5 weeks, so 35,000 words. If I'm able to keep up that 2,000 word each day that I work. Now, I'm not going to just stop at 2,000 words. I'm going to continue. Basically, my thing with this is that I have to hit at minimum 2,000 words. If I hit the 2,000 words and I'm not done with, like, the scene that I'm working on, I'll finish the scene. So that way I can actually have something completed in it. So here's hoping that I'm able to get my shit together in February and March, because I promised this draft to my beta readers by the end of March, early April. So I would like, best case scenario, I would like to have the last week of March to do like the cleanup edits, because I always try to run through it myself and then run it through Grammarly, and Grammarly takes forever to get through because there's so many errors. And there's so many errors that I'm looking at, I'm like, how did I miss that? But I'm getting better. But it's a process. And I'm trying. Unfortunately, I'm also getting distracted because, okay, little side note here. It's going to be a little bit longer on this one. I read, okay, backstory here. I won a giveaway last year from Haley Turner, who writes the Metahumans and the Soulbound series for Male Male Romances on Facebook. And I won a giveaway for her second book on ebook. All Souls Near and Nigh, or something like that. But since it was the second book and it was highly recommended to read the first one, I'm like, okay. So I picked that one up, which is A Fairy of Bones and Gold. No joke. It took me forever to read this book, and I was listening to it on audiobook. Mind you, the ebook never completely synced. So every time I tried to start it, it would start me back at the beginning. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this shit. So I just listened to it on audiobook. Now, I'm not going to get into my thoughts on the book, but to say I slogged through it is an understatement. I literally only had about 2 hours left of it, and I put it off because I was slogging through it. Now, that being said, a lot of people who liked the Soulbound series, which, mind you, I like the series as a whole, just there's some things about it that made it kind of hard to get through. But a lot of people who like the Soulbound series really loved her first series, the Metahuman series, which is sci-fi, kind of X-Men-esque. And I'm like, okay. I also want to give away from her for the audiobook for the first one, which is In the Wreckage. I've been listening to it while I've been painting my new dresser. I straight up love it because I am a die-hard X-Men fan. I love anything that kind of does with mutants. I haven't liked a lot of the newer stuff that I've seen, but a lot of the older stuff, like the Uncanny X-Men. I love anything in the mutant genre. I'm not sure if that would actually be a genre, but it's like sci-fi but with mutants. And dear God, I love this book so far. Yeah, there's a lot of information that's being put out, but it actually feels a lot better than with Soulbound. But I might still read the second book of the Soulbound series. Might take a little while to do that. It's kind of like how I feel about Layla Rainey's Olympic Swimmer series. It's like, I slogged through the first book, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to read the second one. But I do know that Haley is thinking that this is like a 7-book series, but I'm like, okay, I could deal with that. I could try to get through the second one. If it's more of the same, I might stop, but oh, I might do a lot of I might do a full review on it. I don't know. Well, more than likely I'm going to do a full review. But speaking of reviews, this is where tangents come from. As you'll be seeing, I will be posting all of the reviews for the books that I either didn't talk about during my best and worst and my DNFs, which unfortunately you're going to hear about in this one, and I still haven't finished editing it. But it's basically reviews of every single book that I read during 2019. Now, in my best, worst, and DNFs, I do actually go pretty in-depth into several of the books that I read. So those are basically like mini reviews. Whereas with these ones, they're about 5 to 8 minutes long. And yeah, there's spoilers, so warning on that one. And I batched filmed them because they were just sitting on my to-do list, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to rocket through them and get them done. So I'm basically going to be putting them out every week on Wednesdays. I will still do my normal updates on Sunday. I might do an extra video, like if I have a wild hair and I decide that I want to do an extra video. I will do that sometime during the week. It might be random. I don't know. Things are just happening. But I'm going to try my damnedest to get out the best, worst, and DNFs. Editing is not my strong suit when it comes to video editing. Like, I can do it, it's not hard, but finding the time to do it is another question. So, here's hoping I can get that done. I want to shoot for having it done by the end of the week, but it would have to be after I finish my 2,000 words for the day. So, here's hoping. Anyway, this video's gone on long enough, so Thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate all you being here. And if you'd like to leave me a comment down below, go ahead. I love to answer them. I don't get them very often, but it's fun to get them. All right. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.